Okay, guys, Frank Alley, your favorite contract corporate pilot, coming to you again today with part three of my story. So, we last left off where I had gone on my way to Wheels Up, and I did get hired there. They flew King Air's 350i, and I went to Shelton, Connecticut to do what's called in-dock. And that's where you learn all of the 135 rules, op specs, things of that nature, including learning the aircraft and learning their flows, things of that nature. That was about 7 days, if I'm not mistaken. And then we went to the fire safety class. They're showing you how to put out a fire if there's a fire. And then we went to the water safety where they had this huge facility that was able to create the waves of the ocean, very high waves, and thunder and lightning and heavy torrential rain. And you had to escape from a shell that looked like an airplane into the water and inflate your vest and make your way into a life raft, which I must tell you, if you think it's easy in high seas, I'm a pretty strong guy, and it took every ounce of strength that I had to get into that raft. They also put you into that shell of an aircraft again and get you under the water and invert you, and you have to escape. And that's part of the training as well. And then when that was all done, we did on-ground escape from a aircraft shell. And then we went to New Jersey to get our type rating on the King Air 350i. My first round there was on the Fusion avionics package. And everything was going great. The hotel was really nice. The flight safety was amazing, amazing instructors, an amazing teaching environment. And then, sure enough, COVID-19 hit. And that was just before I was about to take my check ride. But I did. On March 13th, I took my check ride and successfully I passed my ATP-PIC type rating in the King Air 350i with the Fusion avionics package. And then due to COVID, they asked us, Wheels Up asked us, anyone who wanted to take a voluntary leave of absence because of COVID, they didn't need as many pilots. So I volunteered. I was home for about 6 weeks, and then they called us in because they started flying a lot again. And I went into was called SOE, Supervised Operating Experience. And you had to do that for a week or two, depending on how you were doing. Most of us did 2 weeks. I did 2 weeks. I can tell you that the training was absolutely amazing. Wheels Up and my mentors prior to that and after that made me the pilot that I am. But their system was amazing. And the way they trained was almost like being in the military. I really enjoyed that a lot. And you walk away with great experience on how to deal with 135 world. And what I did was I took that with me when I left there. I had to leave after a year due to some family issues that I'd rather not talk about at home. And I was needed here at home. But after leaving there, I started back flying with George again in the King Air 350i that was owned by this company that I worked for. I'd rather not mention their name. It's not fair to them. I don't know if they're okay with it. So then George continued training me his way, which was amazing, airline style and Part 135 style. And the great discipline that I got from George was to not be a cowboy pilot, do everything like I was taught at Wheels Up and like he showed me, which was 121 airline style. The problem with Part 91 flying is it's a lot more lax. The rules that apply to 135 and 121 are not there. They're not stringent like that because you're not flying for the public, quote unquote. And so what I learned from George and what I took from Wheels Up is, okay, you fly Part 91, but you can fly Part 91, Part 135 style. In other words, have standard operating procedures, have very strict measures and very strict tolerances and limits and limitations to what you do, what you can do, what you can't do, what you should and shouldn't do. So I found that very, very effective. A while later, they got a brand new King Air 360 with Fusion. The previous one I was flying had the Proline 21. It was a great airplane. But along came the brand new airplane, and George and I went to, along came the new airplane, and George and I went to training in Tampa for the Fusion, and we did great, came out of there. And a while later, George decided he needed to retire. And I understand George was a great mentor. It was a great loss to me to lose George, but it gave me the opportunity to move into the left seat and become the captain. And so I worked for this beautiful family for 6 years total, 4 years as a captain in the left seat. And then I decided that it was my time to move on and do something different. Be a contract pilot in the King Air, perhaps go out and get another type rating or work for a different company, get back to a different type of environment, something different, flying to different airports instead of the same airports all the time. And like I said, I love the family that I worked for. They were amazing. But so here I am as a contract pilot, and I love what I do. I'm really enjoying it. I still fly all airplanes that I fly 135 style. Very strict, checklist, 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 safety, safety, safety. I don't take any chances. I don't push the envelope. Everyone that flies with me knows how ultra safe I am. And I take it to the extreme. I do take it to the extreme because extreme safety is never going to bite you. So that's my story. We're coming up on 7 minutes and 30 seconds. I'm going to stop right here because that's the whole story. 3 parts. You heard it all. Frank Allo, your favorite contract corporate pilot, is a very happy guy. I need you to please go over there, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell. It'll remind you each and every time there's a new video. Please leave a respectful comment. I'd love to know what you're thinking, be it good or bad. I would love to hear from you. I read every single comment. And please, as I always ask you, if you're thinking of getting a pet, please don't go to a breeder, don't go to a store, go to a pound, go to a rescue. There are so many magnificent, beautiful animals just waiting to be adopted, waiting to be rescued. Some of them have been there for years. All breeds, all sizes, all ages. You will never feel the love that an animal that you adopted, that you rescued, can give you. I've been there. I live it every day. And I'll tell you, I'm so happy with my Mateo. And I rescued him. Actually, I think he rescued me. But your favorite contract corporate pilot, Frank Allo, signing off.